Hello, friends. Welcome to today's prediction of Betkraft. All right, it's another beautiful Monday morning. Okay, and as usual, we come up with our games. But today, actually, not so much for football matches going on across the globe. Therefore, we're sorted to international matches. World Cup qualifications in Africa and also in friendly game in Europe, and then a few other club matches that we have a total of six matches that we looked into and we brought forward for you today. And in a short while, we'll be looking at these matches one after the other and also be making the predictions on these games. All right, but for those of us who are coming across our videos for the very first time, who are yet to subscribe, kindly take our time to hit the subscription button down there so that you don't miss out on our secret games that will be coming on this channel. All right, that being said, without further ado, let's head to the business of the day. And today we started with the very first match, which happened to be a World Cup qualification match between Ghana and Central African Republic. Okay, as usual, how we do, take a look at how both sides fared from the recent encounters, and then look at how they fared from home and away, and also come up with our verdict for that very match. So for Ghana, who are the home side, they've been able to win one match in the past six games they had so far. They've also had three draws as well as two losses. And the away side, Central African Republic, have been able to manage three wins as well as one draw and also two losses in the past six games they had so far. So breaking it down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective, you could see that Ghana in the past 10 home games have been able to achieve seven wins out of those 10, and they've also had two losses and as well as one draw. The last home game they played at was a 2-1 loss to Cape Verde, and but again they've been able to win 70% of their home matches. It goes to show that they are doing very well when they're playing from this place from home. And also their away side, Central African Republic, have managed just one win from away. They've also had two draws as well as seven losses playing from away. They've lost their whooping 70% of their away matches in the past 10 away games they have so far. So it goes to show that they're not doing very well when they're playing from away. But in that group, actually, it is Madagascar who is topping the group for these two teams, and I expect to see powerhouses like Ghana coming up, rising up and winning their matches, and occupying that position in sooner. All right. In this very occasion, the last time they met, Ghana was able to defeat the Central African Republic by 2-1. That was in September last year. So in this very game, we do expect Ghana, who happen to be a very good side, to actually redeem themselves and rise to the occasion and win this match outrightly. It is the home side to win. That's all for that very encounter. And that takes us to the next game. And the next game that we have for you is also in World Cup qualification match between Benin Republic and Nigeria. Benin will be welcoming Nigeria. And if you take a look, you see that Benin have won just one match in the past six. They've also had two draws as well as three losses. Nigeria, on the other hand, have had one loss, one draw, as well as four wins in the past six games I've had so far. Okay, and when you take a look at how both sides fared, you can see that the home side, Benin Republic, have been able to win 2 out of the past 10 home games that we've had so far, and they've also had 4 draws as well as 4 losses, playing from home, and the away side, Nigeria, have been able to win 6 games from away. They've as well had 2 draws as well as 2 losses, and also the last 3 away games for Nigeria saw them winning out throughout all those 3. And also looking at head-to-head performances for both sides, we see that the last 6 times both teams met saw Nigeria being very dominant, defeating this side on 5 occasions, and also Benin Republic having the upper hand on 1 occasion. All right. Looking at the situation in the group, we see that it is Comoros who is actually having the upper hand in that very group, and they're not the powerhouses in this game. And we expect Nigeria, who actually drew their match, the home match against South Africa, last week, to actually come up to terms in this very encounter and win this match outright to redeem themselves, because they'll be looking to take every opportunity that is in their hand to actually accrue as many points as possible. So it is a must-win game for Nigeria, and we do expect Nigeria side to win outrightly this very encounter. It is away side to win. That's our verdict for this very encounter. And that takes us to the very next game, which also happened to be in Africa World Cup qualification match. Also, it is Uganda who will be welcoming Algeria in this very encounter. And we look at our home side, we see that Uganda have been able to achieve 3 wins in the past 6. They've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And away side, on the other hand, Algeria have had 1 win in the past 6, and they've also seen 3 draws as well as 2 losses in the past 6 games they had so far. And bringing it down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective, you could see that Uganda in the past 10 home games have managed 2 wins as well as 4 losses and also 4 draws in the past 10 home games that they had so far. It goes to show that they're not performing optimally, especially when they're playing from home. And away side, Algeria have been able to achieve 7 wins from away. They've had 2 losses and also 1 draw. That draw came against came in the match against Egypt, and also one of the losses was against Sweden, where they lost out by 2-0. And that was 2 years ago. And also, the last loss was against Mauritania, January this year, where they lost out by 1-0. But we do expect, we know that Algeria is a very strong side, having a lot of star-studded, they have the likes of Bentalab, they have the likes of Mahrez, and also, some of the other wonderful players. So we do expect them to rise to the occasion in this very one. It is a World Cup game, World Cup qualifying match, and I know that they will not be joking with this very game. So the last time both teams met saw Algeria defeating Uganda by 2-1, and prior to that we also saw Algeria beating Uganda by 2-0. So in this very encounter we expect a repeat of this very fate. We expect the away side Algeria to actually achieve a result in this very game. It is away side to win or draw. That's our verdict. Away side to win or draw. That's our verdict for this very encounter. And that will take us to the next game for today, and that is also it is actually a international match where Czech Republic will be welcoming North Macedonia. All right, Czech Republic in the past 6 have won 5 out of those past 6 games they have so far, but they have also had 1 draw. And the away side, North Macedonia, have had just 1 win, 2 draws, as well as 3 losses in the past 6 encounters that they've had so far. So when you take it down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective, you could see that the home side, Czech Republic, have been doing very well from home. They've actually been able to achieve 7 wins playing from home. They've also had 1 loss, which came against Portugal 2 years ago, but they have had 2 draws as well. So it is 70% of the home matches that they've been able to, achieve results. They've been able to win 70% of home games. And the away side, on the other hand, North Macedonia, in the past 10 away games, have been able to win 2 out of those 10 away games. They've also had 1 draw and also 7 losses in the past 10 away games that they have so far. It goes to show that playing from away, Macedonia is actually not there. So in this very encounter, we know that Czech Republic is a very strong side, and we look at the last head-to-head for both sides, which happened, we saw Czech Republic defeating the side by 6-1, and we've seen Czech Republic recently having a very good run of form, winning their matches, especially when they're playing from home. And we also saw North Macedonia having a very big losing streak. The last match they played out last week, they lost at that match to Croatia by 3-0. So we do expect Czech Republic, who are doing very well at the moment, to rise to the occasion and win outrightly in this very game. It is the home side that's expected to win outrightly. Home win, that's our verdict for this very encounter. And that takes us to the very next game. We happen to be in Norway, where we have Norway second division, where we have Vålerenga 2 coming up against Follow FK. We look at how they fared in recent occasions. We see that Vålerenga have lost the last 6 games that they had so far, and the Wayside Follow have been able to manage 3 wins out of those 6, but they've also had 3 losses out of those 6 games that they've had so far. So bringing it down to how both sides fared from home and away, you can see that the home side Vålerenga have managed 3 wins playing from home, and they've also had 7 losses amongst those 10 games that played from home. They've lost 70% of their home games. They've only been able to manage a 30% win. Away side, on the other hand, have been able to win 4 games out of the past 10 encounters. They've had 1 draw as well as 5 losses in the past 10 home games, 10 away games they've had so far. And it goes to show that we could also see them, winning the past 2 away games. All right, and it goes to show that they're fine from at the moment. They've been able to win, away games. But also, what you have mentioned is the fact that in this encounter for the home side, 7 games out of those 10 home games have actually produced a lot of a high scoring encounter. They've actually produced a lot of goals, and their way side also seeing a very similar situation. 7 games out of the past out of those past 10 away games also have seen a scoreline that is above 3. So we do expect to see a high scoring encounter in this very one, and over 2.5. That's our advantage for this very encounter. All right, and that takes us to the very next game, which happen to be the last for the day. It's actually in Argentine, Primera C, where we'll have Claypole who will be up against Mercedes. Okay, Claypole have been able to achieve 4 wins in the past 6. They've also had 1 loss as well as 1 draw. But their way side, Mercedes have been able to achieve 1 win, 2 draws as well as 3 losses in the past 6 games they had so far. So bringing it down to home and away perspective, you could see that the home side, Claypole, have had 5 wins in the past 10 home games. They've also had 2 draws as well as 3 losses in the past 10 home games that they have so far. And the away side, on the other hand, Mercedes have been able to achieve 2 wins playing from away, but they've also had 3 draws as well as 5 losses playing from away. All right. When you put all that together, that the home side is slightly having the upper hand, seeing that they've been able to win some matches from home. They've been able to win 5 games, 50% of their home matches. They're doing very well, and in the last 3 home games they had so far, they've been able to win 2 of them, and they had 1 draw in the last 3 home games. And the away side, in the last 3 away games, they lost 2, and they also had 1 draw in the last 3 away games they had so far. So it goes to show that the home side is slightly side with a better form. So we do expect the home side, Claypole, to win outrightly in this very encounter, seeing that their recent games have actually produced more wins. So we expect a home win in this very game. That's our verdict for this very encounter, and that brings our predictions for you today on Betkraft to a conclusion. And I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes green. Also remember to play responsibly. It's only a football game, and you know that in football games a lot of things do happen, red card and all that. Unexpected things do happen, but play safe and don't put all your fortune in a bet. It's only a bet. All right, that being said, tomorrow is another day and we'll be coming up with our predictions. But until then, keep winning.